Well, it's 1994, it's the start of the season effectively. I've only been to one more meeting already this year, but now you can see where I am. I know you can recognise this circuit. If I look behind me, you'll recognise the green grass. Yes, grass at Tunbridge. What a great start to the season we've got, because really, is it fair to me to say that it's all happening at Tunbridge this year? We've got an open centre here today, and I can't believe it when I looked in the programme. 60 races to get through today. We've got 250s, 350s, 500s. We've got all the chair combinations, the 500 chairs, the 1000cc right-handers, and of course those Kent-style left-handers. So a great way to start racing at Tunbridge this year. A tremendous opener centre meeting and a great lineup of riders. What have we got coming up later in the year? Well, in June we come back down here for the Battle of Britain. That, of course, is a national status meeting. A tremendous lineup we expect then. Later on in the year, well, what's better than the final round of the Masters? In September, it is the final round of the Masters here at Tunbridge. Well, I'm going to disappear quickly because I can see that there's practice going on behind me. I know we're going to see some great racing, and I shouldn't forget, of course, that at the end of the year, the close of the season is the International. So we go from opener centre today to national, followed by the final round of the Masters, and then at the end of the year, the ultimate meeting, that bonfire burn up, the International. Well, it looks as if they're going to keep me on my toes this afternoon. As I said, 60 races to get through. Already we've got race 1 on the line. It was on the line. We've already got race 1 underway. The first of our 500cc competitors, and this indeed should be as per the programme as we get underway with what is now a smaller circuit here at Tunbridge, but I don't think the race is going to be any much smaller. Alan Harmer setting the early pace as he goes past me, leading. Indeed, Alan Harmer, a very competent 500cc rider, already setting the pace this afternoon, and these times are going to be interesting to watch, because from what I saw in practice, it looks as if it's going to be a very, very quick Tunbridge circuit here this afternoon. So, Alan Palmer leading from Kevin Teager in second place, Tommy Palmer up into third spot now, and John Wilson back in fourth place. It's really those front three that have got away from the rest of the field, and Alan Harmer, well, he's saying that he wants to go from start to finish and get his first checkered flag as he goes into his last lap now, as he goes past us. Still Kevin Teager in second place. Tommy Palmer close to him though in third place. It looks as if Tommy Palmer is getting more used to the circuit as the laps go on. He's closing right up on the back wheel of Kevin Teager. There's one more corner to negotiate, and you can see that Tommy Palmer is going for that inside line. He's looking to pull it hard and tight as he comes on the exit of the bend. Alan Harmer certainly takes it. He's going to be close to the line between those two. And I think by the width of a tyre that Tommy Palmer might well have got that. So we'll confirm that from the lap scorers. John Wilson leading the rest of the pack home in fourth spot. 200cc solo win for number 121, Alan Harmer. In second place, number 21. It was close, but it was Tommy Palmer on the line, number 21 in second place. Third place goes to number 72, Kevin Teager. The rest as they come home were number 214 in fourth place, number 14 in fifth place, 17 in sixth, 7th was 971, 8th number 5, 9th 11, 10th place number 1. The winning time 118.40, 118.40, 121, 21, 72, 214, 14, 17, 971, 5, 11 and 1. The time was 118.40, which equates to a speed of 56.75 average miles per hour. Race 2, and we're still looking at the 500cc solos. A change here. No Stuart Dempsey, number 12. His place being taken by number 158, Wayne Broadhurst. Oh, it looked a very sluggish start, so I'm just wondering whether that start area is still a little bit slippery over there. Of course, when it is slippery like that, they get something of a back wheel spin. No driver saw as we lose one of our riders on that first bend. That looks like Tom Leadbetter is setting the pace as they go past us. Closely followed by Robin Pilcher on the inside. Rob Camden, that is, who's coming through the middle of those two though, and it's all changed on that bottom bend. Rob Camden got himself up in the second place, but you can see that Robin Pilcher has now got himself to the front. And top Leadbetter looks to be dropping back through the field. It is Robin Pilcher that leads from Rob Camden in second place. Graham Brown has moved up into third spot. Well, he looked to be going for second as he went into that bottom bend, but Rob Camden gets second place back again as they go down that back straight. Still you can see Tom Leadbetter dropping back through the field. He looks to maintain his fifth place this time, but as Robin Pilcher goes across the line into his last lap, Rob Camden still trying to get close to him. Graham Brown is up there in third. Nick White is still holding fourth place. And a mistake there on that bottom bend by Graham Brown. I think that's meant that he is going to be back in that third spot as they come across the line. As the checker flag goes, a win for number 174 Robin Pilcher. 22 is Rob Camden that's gone across the line in second place. And that third place, to say, held on by number 122 Graham Brown. Hello, a win for number 174. That of course is Robin Pilcher. In second place, number 22 Rob Camden. Third place, number 122 Graham Brown. Fourth place was 96. Fifth place, 16. Sixth place, number 10. Seventh place, 62. Eighth place, 111. Ninth place, 561. 10th place, 39. And the winning time, 121.76. We did have an 11th place finisher there, number 165. And that speed equates to an average of 54.4. So perhaps interesting that we've got somebody rapidly working out the speeds here of the average speed, of course, that these riders are achieving, and quite a difference there between race 1 and race 2. We'll see what happens in race 3 as we've already got them underway. Going into that first bend, two riders locked together on that first bend. They're close indeed as they go past me for the first time. Looks as if Julian Phipps has got the best of it though. Nathan Morton is the rider that was battling with him in second place and has indeed moved up into first place. Or has he? Well, Julian Phipps deciding to put the power back on going out of that bend. He's got himself to the front. A great scrap between these two. Kevin Buck just watching what's going on in third place. Oh, that was a hard bit of riding from Nathan Morton. Julian Phipps was forced to go the long way round, but look at the advantage he's now given Kevin Buck to come up on the inside. Kevin Buck has got right up on the back wheel of both of those front two. While they were pushing each other out wide and making it hard for each other, Kevin Buck just stayed on the inside. A good bit of tactical riding from him. He's done it again, as you can see, and this time he might have got the complete advantage as he goes into the last lap. Into that bottom bend he goes. That was a clever bit of riding from Kevin Buck. Oh, as those two are still battling out for that second place. Oh, I think all the credit for this rider's got to go to Kevin Buck. You can see what the front two were up to. He just locked it inside, held on to it, and now you can see he's come home with a distinct advantage and he goes into that checker flag. Good ride from Kevin Buck. Great scrap between those two for second and third place. It looks as if Julian Phipps did get the best of it over Nathan Morton on the line. For number 327, Kevin Buck. In second place, number 73, Julian Phipps. Third place, number 51, Nathan Morton. Fourth place, number 140. Fifth place, number 400. Sixth place, 117. Seventh place, 212. Eighth place, number 2. Ninth place, number 56. No 10th finisher, the winning time, 120.65. That equates to an average speed of 55.17 miles per hour. Oh, away we go with race 4. Collectively, there are one or two rider changes here, but those that I was giving you out earlier were changed round slightly, so I'll pick them up as they come round faster. Peter Finch is the rider that's leading this bunch of riders as they go into that bottom bend. I'm intrigued to see that we've got a lot of riders together, but Vince Kinchin a long way back. I would have expected to see him further up the field. Watch to see them come round off that top bend for the second time. Julian, number 64, Scott Swain that's got the lead. My apologies, I was giving somebody else's name to the credit of leading, but Scott Swain is the rider that leads as they go into that bottom bend for the second time. Half keeping an eye on Mitch, who now looks to be up to full speed and working his way back through the field. Scott looks over his shoulder. Keith Potts is the rider that's in second to him. Peter Finch back in third spot. Graham Gordon, I can see, back in what was 5th place, but he looks to be going for that 4th spot. Well, Swain has really got away from the rest of the field. It's a very good ride to open his account for this afternoon as he takes his first checkered flag. Keith Potts gets 2nd place. Nice to see Keith out on a 500. And number 44, Peter Finch, just beating James Cawtheray over the line, who did manage to stay in front of Graeme Gordon. First leg for the 500s. And a good win for number 64, Swain. In 2nd place, number 175, Keith Potts. In 3rd place, number 44 was Peter Finch. And 4th place, number 169. 5th place, number 263. 6th place, 844. 7th place, number 7. 8th place, number 8. No other finishes. The winning time, 118.61. 118.61, which equates to a speed of 56.60 miles per hour. Over the page we go, and we have to look across to that solo start line again, but this time we've got 500cc chairs joining the line. So, the first of the 500cc sidecars. These guys, of course, spend a lot of time across in Europe riding our counterparts in Germany and France, etc. But good to see them here at Tunbridge. A lot of comments this morning from some of these riders saying that this probably is the circuit that compares best with the meetings they have out on the continent. So we'll watch to see what happens, because I think we're in for some very close racing in these 500cc sidecar events. A very good lineup, some of the best 500 sidecars we've got in the country all here this afternoon. As we get underway with that first ride, and picking up an early lead is number 92. Well, I said we've got some of the best 500 sidecars here this afternoon, but I didn't expect to see Richard Piggott out in front. He, of course, is a rider, if you don't recognise the name, that for many years was riding 1000cc right-hand chairs. He smiled at me this morning and said, it's a bit different going the other way, Jim. I'm going to have to use this as a practice today. But he's doing exceptionally well at the moment. In front of number 20, Alan and Peck, a very experienced sidecar crew. And they've got no answer to him at the moment. They're trying the long way round as they go round that bottom bend. Richard Piggott now must have seen them go by. He's got no answer in return to them. It's Alan and Peck that do get to the front. But a good ride from Richard Piggott in 2nd place. Well, I said it was 2nd place, but as you can see, that has changed as Kevin Laird and Dick Ormeroyd have gone through. That's outfit number 7. Very used to racing against Alan Limpeck. As they follow them round, we could see a good scrap between those two before they get to the checkered flag. But Richard Piggott dropping back to 3rd place now, as Alan Limpeck looks to be coming towards the checkered flag, or are they? Well, Kevin Laird tried to get to on the inside, but Alan Limpeck take it. A good ride though from Richard Piggott in 3rd place. And 4th place there, I hadn't realised that Dave Collin, obviously with a different passenger, Michelle Freeman, this afternoon. For outfit number 20, that's Alan and Limpeck. In 2nd place too though, number 7, Kevin Laird and Dick Ormeroyd. In 3rd place, number 92, Richard Piggott and Alex Goodridge. 4th place finishers there were number 5, 5th place, number 71, 6th place, number 4, and the winning time, 122.67. Now this is going to be interesting, is it? What does that equate to in terms of speed? 31, no, 53 I should say. Forget, I ought to look at these numbers the right way around really, shouldn't I? 53.18 an average miles per hour. So interesting to see how that compares with the 500cc solos. As we move on to race 6, a full lineup once again of the 6 outfits. As we see them go down that back straight for the first time, looking perhaps for number 91, Steve Smith. He was very quick last year on the 500cc outfit. It's number 30 that's got to the front nose, and of course is Mal and Lester Goodwin. But they're not having it all their own way as they go into that bottom bend. Just about got a half a wheel, or have they, as it changes going up that back straight. These two outfits away from the rest of the field. They're having their own little scraps back to 3rd, 4th and 5th place, but a good scrap going on at the front. On the inside you've got Mal and Lester Goodwin. On the outside it is Paul Miller and Rob Reed. Oh, Paul Miller having a good ride at the moment. We know that he had a couple of seasons off, and he said he was going to come back in very determined form this year. I do think this is the first ride he's had this year. Well, I'm sure I'll be corrected on that as the afternoon goes on, but as far as I'm aware, this is his first ride, and he does look to be having a very good ride at that, as he leads Mal and Lester Goodwin. Lionel Cox and Grace Magan are holding that third place, having won all the battles for that third spot. Quite a scrap going on there in the early part of the race, the third, fourth and fifth. And that looks to have got itself sorted out as we go to the checkered flag. It is going to be Paul Miller and Bob Reed to take it from Lanchester Goodwin. And in third spot, we've got number 2, Lionel Cox and Grace Magan. 17, Paul Miller and passenger Bob Reed. In second place, number 30, Mal and Lester Goodwin. In third place, number 2, Lionel Cox and Grace Magan. Fourth place was outfit number 1, and fifth place, number 21. The winning time, 1:21.62. That equates to a speed of 54.51.
Charlie, close to 4.
Race 7, we move to the 350s. I said earlier on you're going to see all the different classes we run in Grasstrack. Well, this is exactly what I mean. We've got a top class 350 lineup. And starting with race 7, I think that looks like James Cawtheray that's leading as he comes past me. Brian Cornelius leading the pack in second place. Roy Sizemore I can see moving up in third spot. But that changes as they go around that bottom bend. James Cawtheray though looks to have a very quick 350. He's got away from the rest of the field at the moment. Goes into that top bend for the second time. Looking to see who that is who's got in the second. It's number 3. And that of course is Chris Tritton. He's an addition to your programme. In fact, taking the ride of number 25, Jonathan Duke. I know that Chris Tritton has been a rider on 500cc class for many years, so I've not seen him too much on a 350. As indeed I've not seen too much of James Cawtheray, but Roy Sizemore is having a job to say with them at the moment as those two look to have got away from the rest of the field. Brian Cornelius still there in fourth place. That's a big gap between him and Roy Sizemore. Already we see the checkered flag coming out. Chris Tritton has a go as he gets towards the line, but it is going to be a win for number 169 James Cawtheray. Chris Tritton gets second place, Roy Sizemore in third, and Brian Cornelius does hang on to that fourth place. Race 7 then, the first of the 350s, a win for number 169. That of course is James Cawtheray. In second place, number 3, that was the addition to the programme, Chris Tritton. Third place, number 231, Roy Sizemore. Fourth place was number 48, fifth place, number 71, sixth place, 17, seventh place, 58, eighth place, number 4. No other finishes, the winning time 1:19.89, a speed of 55.70. 55.70 the speed. Well, we watch anxiously to see what happens with the second of the 350 rides. We move on to race 8 and some very capable 350 riders in this one. Mitchell Godden, Neal Scopes, Kevin Lanchester and Keith Potts, Dave Mears, Kevin Buck, Wayne Broadhurst. Tremendous lineup of 350 riders. That looks as if Keith Potts has made a brilliant start. Wayne Broadhurst has gone with him though as they go into the first end. He's getting very fast in the middle of that field, but it is Wayne Broadhurst and Keith Potts that have got away. Kevin Buck I can see has moved up into third spot, or has he? That looks like Dave Mears has got the better of him going around that bottom bend. But Keith Potts got away from Wayne Broadhurst there as he opened up enough to make it comfortable for him and come round off that top bend. Keith Potts going very wide. Wayne Broadhurst trying to capitalise on that. Dave Mears has still got that third place. Neal Scopes has moved up into fourth spot in front of Kevin Buck. And those two almost together as they go round that bottom bend. While Dave Mears anxiously looked down at machinery then as they went down that back straight. I wonder if we're going to see both Kevin Buck and Neal Scopes closing on him. Still sure a scrap goes on for the lead though, as Keith Potts is still riding a very wide line. I'm sure Wayne Broadhurst has noticed that, and he seems to be hugging the flags on the inside. He's not been able to capitalise on it yet, but this time he looks a lot closer as he goes into that top bend. Holds it tight again as Keith Potts learned. No, he hasn't. He's gone wide once again, and this time incredibly wide. Whoa, he looked over his shoulder. Did he hang on? Well, I'm going to let the lap scorer sort that one out for me, because it was certainly tight on the line. Wayne Broadhurst has done everything right and gone through that tight inside line. Race 8, the second of the leg 1 350 rides. A win for number 175, Keith Potts. Second place, number 158, Wayne Broadhurst. Third place, number 15, Neal Scopes. Fourth place, number 139. Fifth place, number 327. Sixth place, number 9. Seventh place, number 143. Eighth place, number 16. Ninth place, number 1. No 10th finishes there. The winning time 118.40. That equates to 56.75. Race 9 we move on to, and we go into the sidecar classes once again, but this time it's the left-hand sidecars, and you can see we're already underway with race 9. And it is, of course, that formidable figure of number 126, Neal Cuff, who's got to the front. Neal and Martin Cuff on this converted outfit that they bought from Rob Cameron, what must be a couple of seasons ago now, but showing that it's all been worthwhile. Neal and Martin Cuff still leading as they come round off that top bend. Still starting to get a bit spread out, but as we look to that second place, it is number 24. Tom Penfold and Kevin Bovis that have got the fight. Great to see Nalo in and Andrew Evans having a go at their outfit number 1. Struggling to keep up with those front runners at the moment, but great to see they've made the distance all the way from Wales to have a go and compete with these commonly known Kent left-handers. John Fish having a good scrap for that second place. Trying to get around the outside of Tom Penfold and Kevin Bovis. That's really where the race is on at the moment. Looks as if John Fish has made the best of it. Now, will he have time to catch up with Neal Cuff? Well, he goes into that top bend, and you can see that the checker flag is being made ready. It looks as if Neal Cuff is going to take it, but John Fish got remarkably close as that race went on. Well, I think that might be a different story later on in the afternoon. Tom Penfold having to be content for that third spot. Left-hand sidecars, and a win very convincingly by number 126. That's Neal and Martin Cuff. In second place, number 173, John Fish and Gary Moore. Third place, number 24, Tom Penfold and Kevin Bovis. Fourth place, number 1. Fifth place, number 307. No other finishers. The winning time 124.44. That equates to 52.69. Race 10, and it looks as if we've got a bit of a scrappy start, but they're underway. 4 outfits only have left that line. I'll pick them up for you as they come round, but I was expecting to see also no Dominic Doyle, of course, we knew of the start of it. So it means that number 151, Graeme Hilton, gets the best of it in front of number 174, Duncan Fish and Clive Holland. Those two away from the other two competitors in this event, but as we look down that far side, we'll watch to see if Duncan Fish and Clive Holland will be able to close that gap. Graeme Hilton making the best of this one at the moment as he comes past us. Graeme Hilton and Bertie Goodwin. Graeme, staunch supporter of Tunbridge meetings. I'm sure he'll be pleased to be going this well around the Tunbridge track. Well, he looks to have got himself comfortably away from Duncan Fish. A good scrap going on for that third place though as they keep chopping and changing. You can see again that as the outfit dives in hard going into that bend, Billy Penfold and Carly Bell, it is that they're in the red letters that are challenging for that third place, and now it's been confirmed for them. As we can see, we've got mechanical failure for the fourth outfit. Well, it starts to get close as they come towards the checkered flag, but really there's been no problem for Graeme Hill. He takes his first ride of the afternoon. Second place going to Duncan Fish, and third place finisher there, Billy Penfold and Carl Bell. With 3 finishes only, it means a win for number 151, Graeme Hilton and Bertie Goodwin. In second place, number 174, Duncan Fish and Clive Holland. Third place, number 23, Billy Penfold and Carl Bell. As I say, no other finishers. The winning time 1:30.38, a speed of 49.23. Oh, race 11 we've got on the line, and this is the third race for the left-hand sidecars, the last of the first leg rides. It looks as if somebody's had a problem on the start line. I'm not happy about it either, as we look to that first bend, and we've got more outfits coming together on the exit on the bend, looking to see who's made the best of it. And it looks to me like the very easily distinguishable Luke Packle has got to the front. Bill Penfold is the rider that's in second spot to him. Well, these two very used to scrapping with each other, as Luke Packle has made the best of it, but Bill Penfold goes to that gap on the inside, tries to pull it back in as he goes into that top bend. That's always the risk if you're driving hard, that it will push you out wide, leaves a gap on the inside, but no such story has happened this time, as Bill Penfold and Nigel Shaw get to the front. Oh, Luke Packle and Julian Browning still there in second place, but dropping back as the race progresses. You can see that Bill Penfold and Nigel Shaw really have got their act together as they come round off that bottom bend. Looks over his shoulder even as he comes to that bend. I'm sure he thought that Luke was going to be a little bit closer to him. Oh, that sounds as if Bob Miles and Pete Taylor have problems in that third spot. So we could see that change, but on the far side I don't think we're going to see the lead change. As the checker flag is made ready, Bill Penfold looks to be in very, very quick form this afternoon. Comes round off that top bend. He takes the win for his first ride of the afternoon. Luke Packle and passenger Julian Browning take second, and Bob Miles managed to get himself to the finishing line for third spot. Sidecars a win for outfit number 2, that's Bill Penfold and Nigel Shaw. In second place, 808, Luke Packle and Julian Browning. Third place, number 108, Bob Miles and Pete Taylor. Fourth place finisher there was number 125. The winning time, 128.65. That equates to a speed of 50.19 miles per hour. 50.19, we're already underway with race number 12. This is the 250s, of course. And interesting to see how well the 250 goes. The track is an ideal size for these 250 riders as we get underway. That was the number change that I told you of when I gave you the list of riders. That's Terry Giles out in front. He's riding number 300. Some of you might have him in your programme as 126, but you can be assured from me that if the information is correct, rider number 300 is Terry Giles. He indeed leads as he comes round that bottom bend for the second time. Number 33 is Richard Smith, a very confident 250 rider. They're followed by Richard Sims in third spot at the moment. Well, looking across to that far side, I thought Richard Smith was going to be pushing very, very hard for that lead on Terry Giles, but Terry looks to be able to maintain it as he goes past us once again. Two contrasting styles between these two riders. You can see Terry's very much sort of get the head down on top of the handlebars, push the backside back. That gives you a very good centre of gravity. Whereas Richard Smith, much more upright and indeed a totally different style, but both of them look to be effective. Terry Giles comes to the line. He does indeed take the first win. Richard Smith gets second. Well, I do believe that was number 180 Richard Sims that got that third place, but I'll wait to have that confirmed from our lap scorers. Race 12, a win for number number 300, Terry Giles. In second place, number 33, Richard Smith. Third place, 180, Richard Sims. Fourth place, number 34. Fifth place, number 10. Sixth place, number 11. Seventh place, number 9. Eighth place, number 174. There were no other finishers. The winning time, 121.51. That equates to 54.58 miles per hour. 54.58 the speed as we go over the page, and a chance to see and read the Don Godden Racing advert. Of course, a very successful machinist in the world of Grasstrack, Speedway, long track, you name it. He's got into racing, and a lot of riders have a lot of faith in his equipment. Well, away we go with race 13, and a rider that there was a lot of talk during the winter of him not coming out this season. I'm pleased to see he's here. It is, of course, number 76, John Dormer. He leads, and comfortably leads. He must be wondering why he's got somebody in front of him, though, because there was a very late starter there, who very sensibly has gone very wide. But John Dormer comes through in front of John Pilcher in second place. Oh, the field really getting strung out, and indeed that rider that's a lap down on everybody is now being passed by most of the front runners. But John Dormer, as always, looks to be in great form on his 250. A very established 250 rider, John Dormer. Lee Street is the rider in third place in those very distinctive pink leathers. Lee, I would have expected to be a little bit closer to the front runners, but perhaps this is the size of circuit that suits John Dormer absolutely 100%. All the riders, when they came in from practice, said how well the track was riding, and they were looking forward to today's meeting. But John Dormer really showing me that he's got the measure of this circuit. Race 13 then, we're with the 250s again in their first leg. A win for number 76, John Dormer. Second place, number 49, John Pilcher. Third place, number 75, Lee Street. Fourth place, number 48. Fifth place, 250. Sixth place, number 71. Seventh place, number 4. Eighth place, number 1. Ninth place, number 115. 10th place, number 7, and the winning time 121.44. That gives us a speed of 54.63. Away we go with the race 14. We're with the 250s, remember, as we see them indeed split up going down that back straight. We've got two riders that have broken away from the rest of the field. They come round past me for the first time, and looks like Dean Camier to me. As we check the numbers, number 62 is in fact Steve Syrett. So Dean Camier leading from Steve Syrett. Those two really a long way away from the rest of the field. That gap really has opened up between second and third place. Dean Camier will be interesting to see him come up against John Dormer a little bit later in the afternoon, but showing that he's quite capable of winning his first ride. Well, number 183, as you can see, in third place on the far side. That's our replacement rider, Ian Lee Amos, that is number 183 in third place. Dean Camier goes into the last lap, leading from Steve Syrett, as indeed he has done for the whole of the race. Ian Lee Amos still there in third. Phil Ranson is holding fourth place and leading the rest of the pack, but there's some big gaps in the middle of that field as we see them come round towards the checkered flag. A win, first time out for Dean Camier. Steve Syrett gets that second place, Ian Lee Amos in third, and Phil Ranson picks up fourth place in front of Mark Bunting. Not worried if one rider has missed the start line, the rest are going to be allowed to go. Well, there's an awful lot of revs being generated down there as they're waiting for that last rider. I thought the starter had allowed them to go. Now we watch to see what happens as they come past us for the first time. They're underway with the first of the right-hand side cars, and goodness me, there looked to be an awful lot of spinning back wheels on that start line there, and there was hardly anybody getting any grip But as indeed they do get underway and they come past us for the first time. John Halsey was the rider that got to the front of the wind in that first bend. Now as they go down that back straight, John Halsey has opened up quite a distance on the rest of the field. Around past us for the first time. John, of course, will welcome the experience of riding at Tunbridge. As I mentioned already, there are some very big meetings. Dave Penfold in second place there at the moment. He and Tony Hayford leading the rest of the pack. And John Halsey really has got away from them. Well, Penny Hook is the rider that's in third, or is that going to change as we see things being changed as they go into that bottom bend? Great ride this from John Halsey and passenger Darren Dwyer. Oh, indeed, Penny Hook going very, very wide, allowing looked to me to be another rider to come through, but John Halsey will come round all on his own, going into this last lap this time as they come past us. Dave Penfold now starting to come under pressure for that second spot. He's had it all his own way for the first 3 laps, but I think it's going to be quite a fight for this last lap because he's now got Rob Wilson Jr. and Colin Hill breathing right down his exhaust pipes as he goes into this last lap. Those two together as they come out of that top bend. Down the back straight, Dave Penfold has still got the advantage. But as John Halsey finishes, all eyes are going to be on that last bend for this second place because Rob Wilson Jr. tries to go through on the inside. It's going to be close to the line and Dave Penfold just holds on to it. Well, I said that was going to be a good scrap on the last lap. And indeed it proved out to be just that. But I do think that on the line, Dave Penfold just managed to hang on. Win for number 13, and that of course is John Halsey and passenger Darrell Dwyer. In second place, number 4, Dave Penfold and Tony Hayford. Third place, number 25, Rob Wilson Jr. and Colin Hill. In fourth place, number 101, fifth place, number 34, and sixth place, number 71. The winning time, 1:34 exactly, and the speed equates to 53.66. Well, I'm almost pleased to say that the sidecars aren't quite as quick at getting to the line as the solos, are they? It does give me a chance to actually catch my breath. Well, we've got race 16 on the line. Looking perhaps for Mick Cave, or is it? We look to see as they come past us for the first time. Outfit number 8 is Bill Beecham. Oh, it is Mick Cave that's come round the outside. Wait a minute, that looks like John Hiscock has got to the front as they come out of that first bend. Well, it is indeed John Hiscock and Tony Bemister that have got to the front. They come past us for the first time, leading quite comfortably from outfit number 8, Bill Beecham and Jimmy Goodsell. Mick Cave and Mick Stace are there in third spot. As the dust starts to fly up on the end, we watch to see as John Hiscock has got away from the rest of the field. He comes round that bottom bend, just picking his line and comfortably doing so. Bill Beecham has still got this second place. Mick Cave is trying to put him under pressure. Vaughan Roberts and Nicky Owen are holding that fourth spot at the moment. And they again disappear into the dust. We watch to see any of the places are closing up. Certainly the gap's got bigger between first and second, but if any gap is reducing, it looks as if it's that second to third place as Mick Cave tries to go through on the inside, and has he done it in one swift move? Well, he's certainly got rid of the gap, and indeed is now right on the back wheel of Bill Beecham. He lost it a bit in that top bend by the look of it as he goes down the back straight. This is where Mick Cave looks to be better. Well, this is an incredible win for John Hiscock and Tony Bemister. Pulls a complete wheelie as he goes past me as well. And I thought that Mick Cave would have been closer to Bill Beecham, but Bill gets that second place. Mick Cave gets third. Vaughan Roberts gets fourth. A great start to the day for number 184, John Hiscock and Tony Bemister. Number 184, John Hiscock and Tony Bemister. In second place, number 8, Bill Beecham, Jimmy Goodsell. In third place, number 5, Mick Cave and Mick Stace. In fourth place, number 14, fifth place, number 9, and sixth place, number 16. The winning time, 1:33.76. There's a speed of 53.79. 53.79, the average speed of the first leg rides. Be situated, I would have thought. Almost as good as being in the beer tent, isn't it? Well, at long last, it looks as if all the problems are sorted out on the line again. It doesn't look as if they're getting much grip off that start line, but by the time they get to me, they are getting themselves underway. Jerry Adams just into the lead in front of Craig Cheatham as they go into that first bend. Oh, we watch to see who it is that comes out. Craig Cheatham completely sideways in the middle of that bend. Well, he's caught himself up with a straw bell, but it looks as if he's recovered from it as he goes back onto the circuit, but he's now well back at the back of the field. Jerry Adams has got away from the rest of the field though, taking full advantage of that. Oh, Bob Heath and Dean Bartholomew with that Speedway style outfit in second place now, and a very disappointing Craig Cheatham at the back of the field. He's got a lot of ground to make up to try and get some good points. Oh, Jerry Adams going well at the moment. I'm not sure whether that is a new outfit for Jerry Adams this season, but it looks to be going well at the moment. Passenger, of course, by Paul Baisby. Still Rob Heath and Dean Bartholomew in second. One of these races where I'm going to try and watch two ends of the race as well, because Craig Cheatham looks to have made up one place as he goes round that top bend. Got a lot of work to do to get up into the high point scoring. And Jerry Adams has got away from the rest of the field. It is just the one place that Craig has made up as they go into their last lap. And already we've got Jerry Adams coming off that bottom bend. A good start to the afternoon for Jerry Adams and Paul Baisby. Second to them, number 18, Rob Heath and Dean Bartholomew. And coming across the line in third, he's managed to hang on to it, number 10, John Stafford and Bill Stafford. Adams and passenger Paul Baisby. In second place, number 18, Rob Heath and Dean Bartholomew. Third place, number 10, John Stafford and Bill Stafford. And in fourth place, number 6. Fifth place, number 1. Sixth place, number 7. And the winning time, 132.93. 132.93 gives a speed of 54.27. A lot of these riders out for the first time here this afternoon, this season I mean. Quite a few meetings unfortunately been cancelled due to bad weather conditions, but couldn't have had it better for today, could we, when you think of all the rain we've had during the week. We're underway with race 18, and a good start for outfit number 24, Rob Wilson and Tony Miles. It was Neville Penfold that went after him in second place. As they come out of that first bend, that's how they stand, with Rob Wilson leading from Neville Penfold in second place. Those two coming together in the bottom corner, and very, very close indeed as they come round past us. Well, that's definitely a new frame for Rob Wilson, so I think that's one of an experiment here this afternoon. Built more along the lines of the Speedway outfits. It looks to be proving beneficial at the moment. Oh, Neville, of course, was one of those riders that went across to Australia. We joined Rob, of course. These two have got the experience of what the Australian Speedway boys were doing. And I've got a feeling that that is how Rob Wilson's outfit has been designed. Well, again, we watched to see them go down that back straight. It is proving to be an advantage at the moment. Rob Wilson and Tony Miles not being caught by Neville Penfold and Paul Randall, and Neville is certainly putting every ounce of effort into it he can. There's a long gap back to number 191, Steve Heath and Barry Knight. They're being pursued by the two-stroke power of number 3, John Mitten and Matthew from Roller. But really all eyes on these front two. They're a long way away from the rest of the field. Coming to the line, it's going to be a win first time out for Rob Wilson and Tony Miles. Neville Penfold and Paul Randall in second. Steve Heath and Barry Knight finish in third. John Mitten and Matthew from Roller in fourth place. Well, that of course was the last of the first leg rise. As we look to race 19, we'll be into the second legs. Tony Miles. Second place, number 2, Neville Penfold, Paul Randall. Third place, number 191, Steve Heath and Barry Knight. Fourth place, number 3, 5th place, number 11. 6th place, number 47. The winning time, 1:33.51. That equates to 53.93 miles per hour. 53.93. Well, I wonder if any of you have had a chance to look back and analyse any of these speeds that we've been giving you. Obviously they're being calculated quickly, and interesting perhaps to see that most of the speeds in all the different heats have equated very closely to each other. That's the sort of thing we begin to expect. Well, let's have a look at the second leg rise. As we know from the first leg that Alan Harmer, of course, was the winner. He doesn't go in this first one, of course. Looking for number 72, Kevin Teager. He had a 3rd place first time out. Bob Camden's out there as well. Number 22, he had a 2nd place first time out. Those two really away from the rest of the field at the moment. Kevin Teager it is that's got the lead from Bob Camden in 2nd. Kevin Buck has moved up into 3rd. Well, Kevin Buck didn't feature, didn't feature, he says. He had a win first time out, didn't he, Kevin Buck? He's back in 3rd place at the moment, but Kevin Teager looking to improve on that 3rd first time out. He leads from Bob Camden in 2nd. Kevin Buck still there in 3rd, but Graeme Gordon now coming into the scene as he's gone wide around the outside of that bottom bend. Starting to close up for that 2nd, that 3rd, 4th and 5th place. But as the checkered flag goes, Kevin Teager gets his first win of the afternoon. Bob Camden gets 2nd, and was that Graeme Gordon that sneaked through and got 3rd on the line. Second leg rides and a win for number 72. That of course was Kevin Teager. In 2nd place, number 22, Rob Camden. 3rd place, number 263, and he just got through on the line, Graeme Gordon. 4th place, number 327. 5th place, number 44. 6th place, number 2. Then no other finishers. The winning time, 1:17.45. 1:17.45 equates to 57.45. That's miles per hour, of course. 57.45 the speed. So, as I have chance to try and catch up on who did what in the first legs, we don't see any first leg winners in this second ride, I don't think. Keith Potts had a 2nd first time out. And Nick White had a 4th. John Wilson also a 4th. Tommy Palmer had a 2nd first time out, so perhaps we should be looking for Tommy Palmer and Keith Potts. It is indeed Keith Potts. He comes off that first bend, leading from number 73, Julian Phipps. Well, I hadn't realised, of course, that Julian had a 2nd first time out as well, so 3 riders that finished in 2nd spot first time, battling it out for a win this time. No riders going into this ride that actually did have a win first time out. As they come round past us for the 2nd time, it's Keith Potts that's got away from Tommy Palmer. Julian Phipps is up there in 3rd place, but Keith Potts on a 500. And interesting to see that Keith is going extremely well on a 500. We get so used to seeing Keith riding that 350. He goes into the last lap, leading from Tommy Palmer and Julian Phipps. A big gap then back to number 7, Dave Homer. Really a battle on for those front 3. As we see the checkered flag this time. We will watch to see will Keith Potts hang on, or has Tommy Palmer got that inside line? It's going to be a checkered flag for Keith Potts. Tommy Palmer gets 2nd, Julian Phipps gets 3rd. Oh, well, indeed, battling through and getting through to that 4th place was number 165. I do believe that's one of our replacement riders, Jason Jennett, of course. Of course is Keith Potts. In 2nd place, number 21, Tommy Palmer. 3rd place, number 73, Julian Phipps. 4th place was 165. 5th place, number 7. 6th place, 561. 7th place, 56. 8th place, 39. 9th place, number 10. No other finishers. The time, 1:17.20. 1:17.20. That equates to 57.63 miles per hour. 57.63 the speed. Well, they're going to keep me on my toes this afternoon, I can see. We're looking for riders in race 21. And well, looking perhaps for number 122 leading Graham Brown. He had a third first time out. Oh, there's a whole gaggle of riders up there. James Cawtheray I can see coming through. He had a fourth first time out, so we'll be anxious to try and improve on that. Back of this, or he's in third at the moment. It's Alan Harmer that's got to the front. Alan, of course, had a win first time out, so he could be the first of our riders going for the double. Alan Harmer, number 121, now got himself away from the rest of the field, but James Cawtheray trying to make things different. He closes up on the inside as he gets into second place. In front of Graham Brown now, who's been relegated back to third. Number 174, Robin Pilcher. He had a win first time out, Robin, but he's back in fourth place at the moment. So, looking back through these charts, it's Alan Harmer that's the only one who's going for the double. As we look to see that checkered flag go, Alan Harmer indeed gets the double. 2 rides, 2 wins. James Cawtheray gets the second, Graham Brown gets the third, and Robin Pilcher back in fourth place. Rides of the 500cc class. A win for number 121. That's his second of the afternoon. He completes a maximum. 121 is Alan Harmer. In second place, number 169. That, of course, is James Cawtheray. In third place, number 122, Graham Brown. Fourth place, number 174, Robin Pilcher. Fifth place, number 17. Sixth place, number 971. Sixth place, that was 971. Seventh place, 117. 8th place, number 11. 9th place, number 62. And 10th place, number 8. The winning time, 119.10. 119.10. That equates to a speed of 56.25. 56.25. Well, the one to watch for this time has got to be number 64, Scott Swain. We've seen the other 3 leg 1 winners come out already. Only one of them has got the double. That, of course, is Alan Harmer. Is anybody going to go with him? Well, Scott Swain's the man that can. He had a win first time out, and he indeed leads at the moment as they go round off that bottom bend. Vince Kinchin up in second place. A disappointing first ride. I can only assume there's been some sort of problem with his machinery. But he's making up for it this time. He comes round off that bottom bend, fighting hard in second place. Chris Tritton is the rider up in third place at the moment. Nathan Gamma is the rider in fourth. But Chris Tritton putting the pressure on Vince Kinchin as they go up that back straight. Putting the pressure on. He's gone past him as they go into that top corner. Scott Swain is the rider that leads still going into the last lap. Oh, indeed, there's problems for Vince Kinchin. He's pulled off on the top of the circuit, which gives an open run for Chris Tritton to get that in second place. Checkered flag being prepared this time as they come round. Well, Scott Swain has equalled Alan Harmer. Scott Swain gets his second win in the class of the afternoon. Chris Tritton finishes in second place. Nathan Gamma finishing in third. And Justin Shaw finishing in fourth place. The 500cc solos, a win for number 64, Scott Swain. So that indeed puts him on a maximum after 2 rides. In second place, number 3, Chris Tritton. Third place, number 111, Nathan Gamma. Fourth place, number 140. Fifth place, number 1. Sixth place, number 212. Seventh place, number 5. No other finishers in race 22. The time 116.14, 58.43 miles per hour. That averages 58.43. I emphasise that because I do think that is the fastest we've seen so far this afternoon. I don't think I've written an 8 down before. Plenty of 4s and 3s and 5s. But as I quickly look back through my programme, I'm sure there's a lot of you doing the same thing as well. Indeed, that is a very, very quick time. Got the 500cc sidecars there already.
Oh, no, still got 1 leg. That's quite excellent promises. Come on, stable down the sheet, hey, Charlie, look, quick! Here it comes.
And they're already underway with the first of the second leg rides for the 500 sidecars. Well, there's a lot of coming together in the middle of the bend, I can see, for Kevin Laird, but looks as if they've got away with it. As indeed, I'm looking for now for number 1 to have got to the front. That's Mark Stubberfield. Now, he had a disappointing fourth first time out. Watch to see what happens. As you can see, Lanchester Goodwin coming through. They're the second first time out, so they'll be looking to get a win this time. Around that top bend they come. You can see that, in fact, I've looked at the centre green, I can see that that was actually Paul Miller that had problems on that first bend. So that's very disappointing, because Paul Miller, I was going to say, was the only one that had a win first time out. So that is absolutely disaster for Paul Miller and Rob Reed. He joins the circuit once again. He knows it's important to try and get some points. But very, very disappointing for Paul Miller as we go into the last lap, and it's Lanchester Goodwin who lead from Kevin Laird in second place. Oh, Kevin Laird and Dick Ormeroyd second. There's quite a gap then opened up. So this looks like being the first win of the afternoon for Lanchester Goodwin. Had a second first time out. But they're all sideways on that top bend. There's problems for them, and they're going to lose that first place. He's done well to recover from that. Oh, a brilliant ride from Lanchester Goodwin. They recovered from that overcooking on the top bend. That Kevin Laird gets second place. 30, Lanchester Goodwin. In second place, number 7, Kevin Laird and Dick Ormeroyd. In third place, number 4, Simon Baird and Gary Aldridge. Fourth place, number 1. Fifth place, number 21. And sixth place, number 17. The winning time was 1:32.87. 1:32.87 equates to 47.91 miles per hour. I think the watering there did make quite a bit of difference to the way in which the speeds were affected. But I don't think it's going to take too long to actually get back to the dusty conditions again. Well, indeed, there's all sorts of problems once again on that first bend. It looks as if they've all recovered, but this time taking a very sensible wide line. It's number 5, Dave Collin and Michelle Freeman that have made the best of that. Again, the outfits go sideways on that top bend. Oh, I can see that the rider that had problems on that first bend was indeed number 71, Brian Palmer and Scott Dunn. Oh, they had a disappointing first ride, Brian Palmer. And it's interesting to see that Alan and Lynn Peck are having problems this time. They're back in fourth place. They had a win first time out, you may remember. And the lead looks as if it's going to change, because we've seen that now first place taken over from number 5, Dave Collins and Michelle Freeman. It is indeed Lionel Cox that took over the lead, or has he? No, Dave Collins comes back underneath him. Or Brian Palmer now closing in on those two. A good 500cc sidecar race, this one. This is where Lionel Cox looks to be better, coming out of that bottom bend. Brian Palmer goes after him, and it could all happen in this last bend, because Brian Palmer has been forced to go for the outside. That's a long, long way round, but he'll keep the power wound on. Oh, Lionel Cox has gone to on the inside, and a good win from Lionel Cox. Oh, a tremendous ride there. As you can see that Dave Collin and Michelle Freeman have been put back in the second place, and Brian Palmer still finishes in third spot. Well, I think the point situation is going to get very, very tight in that particular class. For the 500 sidecars, and a win for number 2, Lionel Cox and Grace Magan. In second place, number 5, Dave Collin and Michelle Freeman. Third place, number 71, Brian Palmer and Scott Dunn. Fourth place, number 20, Alan and Lynn Peck. Fifth place, number 91, and sixth place, number 92. The winning time, 1:30.90. That equates to 48.95. So 48.95 the time as we go over the page, and we're back to the 350s. Quickly looking down this list of riders, we've got Wayne Broadhurst, of course, who had a second. No Jonathan Duke. His place being taken by number 3, Chris Tritton. And Chris, of course, equally had a second place. Interesting that both our first place riders, in fact, go in that second one, I believe. But one rider I haven't put into my list was the one at 6.9. Well, let's concentrate on the race we've got in progress, because Wayne Broadhurst has made a very good start. As I mentioned, he had a second first time out. Well, indeed, I can see that James Cawtheray is in fact out in this race. He's back in 5th place at the moment. He was the rider that had a win the first time out. There's a long way back down the field. Wayne Broadhurst looking over his shoulder. I'm not convinced that he's sure he should be that far ahead of everybody at the moment, but he certainly is. And when he comes round off that top bend, you'll see the sort of lead that he's got. It must be some 9, 10, 11 bike lengths that he's got on Dave Mears in 2nd place. Mitchell Godden's up in the 3rd. James Cawtheray now coming through in front of Roy Sizemore. Oh, I say he's coming through in front of Roy Sizemore. It looks to be that the challenge is back on. Roy Sizemore not going to let James Cawtheray get through into that 4th place. That's a win for Wayne Broadhurst. That's done his point scoring, no harm at all. Dave Mears gets a good 2nd place. Mitchell Godden's up in the 3rd. Roy Sizemore hangs on to that 4th place because I can see that James Cawtheray has dropped the machinery on that last bend. Well, again, that's going to make it interesting in the points because James Cawtheray was the rider that had a win first time out. So, as you can see, frustration, great disappointment of not even getting very good points at all. The 350cc class, a win for number 158, Wayne Broadhurst. 2nd place, number 139, Dave Mears. 3rd place, number 9, Mitchell Godden. 4th place, number 231, Roy Sizemore. 5th place, number 3. 6th place, 17. 7th place, 20. 8th place, 58. 9th place, 169. The winning time, 124.26. 124.26. A speed of 52.80. 52.80. So it's starting to get a little bit quicker once again. That's back up to comparable speeds that they were doing in their first leg rides, if I can find them. In fact, comparable, it's almost identical to one of their... no, it's not. I'll look at the right race in a minute. Well, those speeds have increased slightly on those first leg rides. So, as we look across the far side to race 26, already on the line, chance to see in action Keith Potts, who had a win first time out. He'll be conscious, of course, that the other rider that had a win, James Cawtheray, is so disappointingly in his 2nd ride. So Keith will know that he's got some good riders out with him, but he's more than capable of actually getting a 2nd win. He leads from Neal Scopes at the moment to go into that bottom bend. Well, Kevin Buck is one rider you should perhaps watch for. He had a disappointing 5th place first time out. I know he's got a very quick 350, as indeed Neal Scopes has. He had a 3rd first time out. But he's got himself to the front as he goes in tight on that top bend. Means that Keith Potts goes back into 2nd. It's always interesting to see these two having a bit of a scrap. I know that they're famous for their rides in the best pairs. They are two very good 350 riders. It looks as if Neal's got the best of it at the moment. It's always interesting when you've got a situation like this that Kevin Buck is back in 3rd. He knows that the front two will be having a scrap, so he'll be watching which way they go. If they do start to tactically ride and close the gaps for each other, then Kevin Buck will capitalise on that because he'll see the gaps open up on the inside. But again, you can see that Neal Scopes is riding a tremendous ride. He really has got this track sorted out as he takes the checkered flag. A very deserved win for Neal Scopes. Keith Potts finishes in 2nd, and Kevin Buck picks up a very valuable 3rd place. 350, a win. Doing his point scores no harm whatsoever for number 15, Neal Scopes. 2nd place, number 175, Keith Potts. 3rd place, number 327, Kevin Buck. 4th place, number 143, Kevin Lanchester. And 5th place, number 48. 6th place, 16. 6th place, 71. No other finishers. The winning time, 123.81. 123.81 equates to a speed of 53.09. So away we go then with what could be a very interesting race indeed, race 27. That looks to me like Luke Patchell has made the best of the start. He goes into that first bend. Now remember, I was saying that Duncan Fish and Luke had second place his first time out. We're looking perhaps for Graeme Hilton. He's the one that had the win. Indeed, Graeme's back in third place. It's Luke Patchell that's got the lead from Tom Penfold and Tom Penfold and Kevin Bovison is in second place, but looking anxiously for that first spot. Oh, watching each other carefully. Oh, Duncan Fish back in fourth place at the moment, but really the scrappage for that lead. You can see that number 24, Tom Penfold and Kevin Bovison are keying up Luke Patchell as they go down that back straight. Always interesting to watch where the driver's eyes are. He's anxiously watching exactly where Luke Patchell goes. He's seen him, committed him to going wide. He's then going to try and drive through on the inside. That, if anywhere, is where the gaps are. But that's going to take quite some doing to actually get through on the inside, because if Luke is going wide, you can be guaranteed that he's got all the power on, and he'll certainly be motoring on those wide lines. Oh, Graeme Hilton from that win first time out, still up there in third place and still scoring good points. Again, Tom Penfold tries to come through on the inside, but again he doesn't make it. Luke Patchell and passenger, of course, Julian Browning take a win, their first win of the afternoon. And in second place, number 24, Tom Penfold and Kevin Bovis. Well, they get a second and first time out. They, in fact, had a third place, so they've slightly improved. 08, Luke Patchell and passenger Julian Browning. In second place, number 24, Tom Penfold and Kevin Bovis. Third place, number 151, Graeme Hilton and Bertie Goodwin. Fourth place, number 174, and fifth place, number 23. The winning time, 131.75. That equates to 48.50. 48.50 the speed. So we'll watch to see how that compares to other leg rides. Looking to race 28. Of course, a replacement for Ernie Penfold. That's number 125, Leadbetter. Well, away we go with this race 28. It's left-hand sidecars, and you can see that the man we're all looking for would be Neal Cuff. He's got himself away from the rest of the field, or has he, as he comes around that first bend? It's certainly getting close as they come round past us for the first time. And I'm pleased to see that the rider that's going to give him a hard time is Neil Owen and Andrew Evans, all the way from Dyfed in Wales. And it's great to see they've travelled all this way. They are no mugs whatsoever. Indeed, they'll give Neal Cuff a run for his money as he comes up close again, coming around this top bend. Well, the word adventurous was the word that described these two when I spoke to them this morning. And you remember that Neil and Martin Cuff did have a win first time out. They're being pushed very, very hard by Neil Owen. And he's gone wide on that back straight, so I wonder, are we going to see Neal Cuff sitting on a maximum after we see the end of this ride? Well, I think Neil Owen is doing everything he possibly can to try and make sure that he's not going to finish up with a maximum. But Neil riding some very sensible lines on both bends. He's closing the doors, he's forcing Neil to go very, very wide. Oh, you can see that makes him quick coming into the bend. It's where he reaches the apex of the bend that he starts to have trouble. The power starts outweighing the direction in which you want to go. And the Checo flag is going to go to Neil and Martin Cuff. That means they go on to a maximum. 2 rides, 2 wins. We'll wait to see what happens in race 29, because one of our other first leg winners goes in that one. So Neal and Martin Cuff, their second of the afternoon. In second place, number 1, Neil Owen and Andrew Evans. In third place, number 69, Bernie Townsend and Martin Goodell. And in fourth place, number 125, Lenny Bora and Chris Berwick. The winning time, 129.41, 49.76 is the speed that averages. As we indeed look across to the line, and already they're underway. We know that we're going to be missing a few from this one, but one outfit to watch for is indeed number 2, Bill Penfold and Nigel Shaw. They're sitting second at the moment. Well, I was going to say that the other riders to look for would be number 173, John Fish and Gary Moore. It looks as if there's problems for Bob Miles on the far side. But a good scrap this in prospect as John Fish looks to have got himself well and truly sorted out. Pulls away from Bill Penfold, in fact. Oh, John had a second first time out. He knew that he'd be looking at improving on that, but he must also have known that he was coming up against Bill Penfold, who had a win. Well, I didn't expect the gap to be quite this big. I thought that Bill Penfold would be pushing John Fish all the way home. Oh, Bob Miles now looks as if he's got his outfit going. So they're starting to look a little bit as if it's a formality for John Fish and Gary Moore. They knew that they wanted to improve on their second place. And that's exactly what they're going to do as the checker flag is made ready for them this time as they come round. It's going to be a win in race 29 for number 173, John Fish and Gary Moore. It means that Neal and Martin Cuff are the only crew that have gone through after 2 rides with 2 wins. As the day has progressed, well, we move on to race 30, and we're back with the 250s. Well, looking to see who it is that breaks coming around that first bend. Lee Street has indeed got himself to the front. Dean Camier is up in a second. Now, Dean had a win first time out. Lee Street was only in a 3rd place first time out. Seems wrong to say only a 3rd place, doesn't it, in a class like this? Certainly a good result. As you watch to see them come off that top bend, you can see that Dean Camier has got himself to the front once again. Our reserve rider there coming through into 2nd place. Having a battle with Lee Street for that 2nd place. That's 183. Oh, battling every inch of the way. But Dean Camier has got himself away from those 2. He's looking a very comfortable leader at the moment. Oh, indeed, these races over so quickly. That's the checkered flag that's coming already for Dean Camier. His second of the afternoon. Ian Lee Amos does well and gets through for that 2nd place. Lee Street, of course, finishing in 3rd spot. And Matt Thompson picking up that 4th place behind them, leading really the rest of the pack. Of the 2nd leg for the 250s, a win for number 44, Dean Camier. His 2nd of the afternoon. In 2nd place, number 183. That, of course, is Ian Lee Amos. 3rd place, number 75, Lee Street. 4th place, 34. 5th place, 180. 6th place, 250. 7th place, number 36. And 8th place, number 7. 119.74 the time. The speed, 55.80.
Daddy said this one.
Well, away we go with race 31. We've seen already that Dean Camier had a win first time. He's had a win 2nd time. John Dormer goes in this one. He had a win first time out. We look for those very distinctive yellow letters. It is indeed John Dormer that's got to the front. Steve Syrett is actually in 2nd place, which is exactly where he finished in his first ride. He was on 2nd placed on 10 points first time out. But John Dormer knows that Dean Camier has had 2 rides, 2 wins. He's looking to do exactly the same thing. Steve Syrett still there in 2nd place. Number 49 is John Pilcher. He also had a 2nd first time out. But very much a spread race, this one. You can see that John Dormer has really opened up this field. He's going very, very quickly on this 250. I think all we can do now is wait to see what sort of time he clocks up. How indeed does this compare to Dean Camier? Oh, that's a lot of effort being put in by Steve Syrett in 2nd place, but he's got no answer to this very quick John Dormer. There goes the checkered flag, so now we just wait a few seconds to see what that time was compared to Dean Camier's in the first heat. In there in first place already. That of course was John Dormer. In second place number 62 Steve Syrett. Third place number 49 John Pilcher. Fourth place number 1 Keith Strudwick. Fifth place number 46. Sixth place number 115. Seventh place number 9. Eighth place number 10. No other finishes there. The winning time 119.97. That's the speed of 55.64. Well, interesting, I said we compare the times. We both got within 119 of each other. 0.74 for Dean Camier, 0.97 for John Dormer. Those speeds then equating to 55.8 and 55.6. Very, very close indeed. We watch to see what happens in the third heat of the second leg. Looking for our other first leg winner. That, of course, was Terry Giles. He indeed has got himself to the front already. It looks as if Richard Smith is going to push him all the way. Richard had a second first time out, so we know that he's a rider capable of pushing other riders. Oh, he's going to give him a fight every inch of the way. Really, those two have got away from the rest of the field. Phil Ranson is the rider that's on his own in third place, but really a good scrap between these front two. I talked earlier on about the different styles of these two riders, but they're both turning out to be very effective. Oh, they get very, very close indeed going into that last bottom bend for the last time. Well, is Terry Giles going to stay with Dean Camier and John Dormer? They've both had 2 rides and 2 wins. Richard Smith trying to do everything he possibly can to stop that happening. But as they come round off that top bend, the checkered flag goes out. It's going to be close to the line, but he does it. Oh, Terry Giles does fantastically well and hangs on to make sure that he stays with those front runners. 2 rides, 2 wins. Great ride there from Richard Smith. He certainly pushed him every inch of the way.
Don't you come down here and adjust
Race 32, still with the 250s of course, and a great achievement from Terry Giles there. He's had 2 rides, 2 wins. It's number 300 that goes in first place. In second place, number 33, Richard Smith. Third place, number 48, Brian Cornelius. Fourth place, number 5. Fifth place, number 71. Sixth place, number 59. Seventh place, number 4. The winning time, 121.69. That's a speed of 54.46. 54.46, the average speed. So, as much as Terry had a much harder race, his time a little bit slower than that of John Dormer and Dean Camier, but those two uncannily so close together. Over the page we go. We're back with the right-hand sidecars. And do we see any of our first leg winners going in this one? Yes, indeed we do. We've got both John Hiscock and John Halsey had a win first time out. Also Rob Wilson out there as well. So 3 of our first leg winners out together in this second leg ride. And all 3 of them together as they go down that back straight. John Halsey has made the best of it at the moment as they go round that bottom bend. John Hiscock is right there with them on the inside of them. And Rob Wilson back in third place at the moment, but by no means out of contention. Craig Cheatham is the rider that's holding fourth place. But as we go round that bottom bend, you can see that it is John Halsey. And of course, new passenger this year. John Hiscock desperately trying to get on terms with him, but John Halsey and Darryl Dwyer riding exceptionally well at the moment, trying to make sure that they can maintain this unbeaten record this afternoon. They've had a win first time out, this being their second ride. Oh, John Hiscock doesn't have an answer to him, but perhaps more interesting is that Rob Wilson looked so quick when he was out there in his first leg ride when he beat Neville Penfold. I thought he was going to be the guy that was going to be the hardest one to beat this afternoon, but he's back in third place at the moment, and if he's not careful he's going to lose that one because Craig Cheatham and Craig Reynolds are closing in on him as well. But a brilliant ride this from John Halsey. He takes the checker flag. John Hiscock gets second place. Rob Wilson gets third, and Craig Cheatham back in fourth place. John Hiscock and Darryl Dwyer, they go into first place in race 33, but of course perhaps more interestingly that in second is 184 John Hiscock and Tony Bemister. They of course had a win first time out. Equally in third place we've got number 24 Rob Wilson and passenger Tony Miles. Fourth place number 1 Craig Cheatham, fifth place number 101, sixth place number 47. The winning time 131.90, that equates to a speed of 54.88. 50. Would be looking at making up good points. Jerry Adams of course goes in this one. He's the only other rider that had a win in the first leg. Mick Cave back in a third place, would be looking to improve on that. You can see that none of the other riders featured very high at all. And as we know that John Halsey has had 2 wins so far this afternoon, Jerry Adams would love to get another win in this one that puts him equal with John Halsey. Because I think from what's happened in that first of the second leg rise, it's going to make it a very clean split in the sidecar event, that all the scrapping is going to be going on a bit further down the point scoring. If you can maintain this unbeaten record, it keeps you well above and away from all the confusion of whether you have or haven't made it. Very quickly. Not happy with somebody trying to push the tapes a little bit. Interesting to see that still the starter's not happy with them, but now he lets them go. As we watch them break, I was looking for Jerry Adams. He's on the outside of this start line. He indeed has got himself straight into the front as they go into that first corner. Mick Cave is still there in second. We'll look to see he wasn't in second. In fact, as he come round that first bend, he's now fighting to get himself into second, but Jerry Adams has got himself away from the rest of the field. Well, perhaps proving why he had that win first time out. There's all sorts of problems for Rick Colvin. It was Rick Colvin and Steve Smith who were up in second place, but as they come past me, it looked as if they'd lost their gearing completely, and they're just coasting off into the centre of the circuit. Oh, Jerry Adams piling the power on. He must be getting the signals for his passengers. He's got quite a comfortable lead on second place, Mick Cave and Mick Stace. John Stafford has moved up into third place now. Again, as we look to see Jerry Adams coming off that bottom bend, he goes into the last lap, looking in very good form this afternoon. Mick Cave and Mick Stace not really being able to close that gap on him. And then that big gap back to third place. But as we look to see Jerry Adams come round off the bottom bend, he really is motoring every inch of the circuit as he comes round off that bottom bend. There goes the second checker flag that he's seen this afternoon. 2 rides, 2 wins, he equals John Halsey. Adams and passenger Paul Baisby. In second place, outfit number 5, Mick Cave and Mick Stace. Third place, number 10, John Stafford and Bill Stafford. Fourth place, number 6, and fifth place, number 34. The winning time, 132.40. The speed, 54.70. 54.70 the speed, as we look already to race 35. Well, as we turn our attention to race 35, it's Dave Penfold who perhaps has got the most pressure on him. He had a second place first time out. Steve Heath had a third place first time out. John Mitten had a fourth. Taking the lead at the moment is number 9, Colin Hutton and Tony Baisby. Well, Colin Hutton and Tony Baisby, who had a disappointing first ride. It was a 5th place that they had first time out, but they're certainly going strongly in this one. 3rd place first time out was Steve Heath and passenger Barry Knight. They're up in 2nd place at the moment. Number 14, Vaughan Roberts, also had a 4th place first time out. He's going well. Really nobody able to catch Colin Hutton at the moment. Steve Heath desperately fighting hard in 2nd place. As they come round and go into their last lap, Colin Hutton looks to be getting away safely. Steve Heath still there in 2nd spot. Oh, John Mitten looks like being caught by Dave Penfold as they go into that top bend. He's made up one more place, which will help that point scoring. Well, I said he had. It didn't look like he had by the time he got out of that second race. That second corner, I should say. But a good win for Colin Hutton. Steve Heath gets that 2nd place. Vaughan Roberts gets 3rd, and Dave Penfold finishes in 4th place. Well, as the riders indeed come round to greet your appreciation, I'll give you the official result. A win for number 158, Wayne Broadhurst. In 2nd place, number 15, Neal Scopes. In 3rd place, number 9, Mitchell Godden. In 4th place, number 175, Keith Potts. In 5th place, number 3, Chris Tritton. In 6th place, number 231, Roy Sizemore. In 7th place, number 169, James Cawtheray. In 8th place, number 48, Brian Cornelius. 9th place, 327, Kevin Buck. And 10th place, 139, Dave Mears. The winning time, 207.84, 207.84, that's 53.36 miles per hour. Well, they're starting to keep us at it today. The left-hand sidecars are already underway on the far side. So, 6 laps. 2 riders qualifying on points at the same level. Number 173, John Fish, and Luke Battle, number 808. So they managed to get to the final on equal points. Is it going to be a straight scrap between those two, or is anybody else going to get in there and mix it? At the moment, we've got John Fish out in front. I was going to say Luke Patchell in 2nd place, but that's just changed on the far side. As Bill Penfold has got through into 2nd place to come round off that top end. John Fish and Bill Penfold now getting away a little bit from Luke Patchell. I can see that Neal Cuff has moved up in front of Luke Patchell as well, but he's getting close at the front as John Fish hesitated coming round off that bend. Oh, as you see them get closer in this top bend, it really is starting to become almost Mears racing, because the front two are battling for 1st and 2nd. You've got the next two that are battling for 3rd and 4th. Graham Hilton has lost touch with the rest of the field a little bit at the moment, but John Fish now starting to stamp his authority. John Fish and Gary Moore move away from Bill Penfold and Nigel Shaw. Neal Cuff has still managed to get himself in front of Luke Patchell. Neil Owen has tried to move through as well to get an attack on Luke Patchell. And indeed, this really has now started to become John Fish's race, because Bill Penfold has certainly lost touch with him now. As they start to pull away, maybe the longer races suit John Fish. He certainly isn't the best of starters in what I've seen of this start of racing. And now a challenge from Neil Owen going around the outside. Well, that was a very good move from Neil Owen. It may have got him 1, maybe 2 places. fighting every inch of the way. There's no way through for Luke Patchell there for that third place. But as we watch the front two get away, the battle really is for that third spot. Watch the Welshman going all the way around the outside. They don't seem to like the inside of the track. They've gone all the long way around. Luke Patchell now having a challenge for that third as well. As we see John Fish and Gary Moore take it. Bill Penfold and Nigel Shaw take second. Neal and Marty Cuff take third. Luke Patchell and Julian Browning take fourth. Neal Owen and Andrew Evans take fifth place. Then a great ride from outfit number 173. They take first place. John Fish and Gary Moore. In second place, outfit number 2, Bill Penfold and Nigel Shaw. In third place, number 126, Neal Cuff and Martin Cuff. In fourth place, 808, Luke Patchell and Julian Browning. In fifth place, number 1, Neal Owen and Andrew Evans. And in sixth place, number 151, Graham Hilton and Bertie Goodwin. The winning time, 2:17.48. That's an average speed of 49.62. Interesting perhaps to look at those average speeds now that we're into these 6-lap finals. All worked out correctly. And as John Fish come round to receive your congratulations, a very happy John Fish going home tonight. Well, we look at race 59. It's the 500cc solo final. A tremendous lineup of solo competitors for the 500cc final. Qualifying equal on maximum points into this final. Number 64, Scott Swain, and number 121, Alan Harmer. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be a straight race between those two, but they should be perhaps two to watch for. They're the two that everybody else is going to try and stay with, but you never know what somebody might have saved for the final as they get underway on the far side. That looks to me like Tommy Palmer has made a brilliant start. Rob Camden goes after him as they go into that first bend, but it is Tommy Palmer that's made the best of the start. Looking for Alan Harmer, he's coming through. Kevin Buck is up there as well. Rob Camden in second place at the moment though. Kevin Buck in third place on the inside. Alan Harmer and Scott Swain together in fourth and fifth place. But it's Tommy Palmer that's got away from the rest of the field. He flies down that back straight. A brilliant start to the race for Tommy Palmer as he comes round off that top corner. Rob Camden is riding well in second place at the moment. Scott Swain has established himself in third place now as he's taken over from Kevin Buck. But I'm looking for Alan Harmer, who looks to be dropping back through the field. Graham Gordon has moved up into fourth place. Alan Harmer in fifth place at the moment, but the brilliant style of Tommy Palmer. He's loving every minute of this as he goes round. He likes riding here at the Tunbridge track. There is a personal connection as well, but I'll tell you about that in a moment. As Tommy Palmer breaks away from the rest of the field, he looks over his shoulder and I'm sure he couldn't believe the gap that he's got on the rest of this field. Rob Camden fighting every inch of the way. Again, Tommy Palmer looks over his shoulder. He must be so pleased to have this sort of gap. He knows it's a 6-lap final. Scott Swain is still trying to get past Rob Camden. I've lost count the amount of times Tommy Palmer's looked over his shoulder. He really can't believe what's happened to him today. As he goes down that back straight again, as he comes round his top corner, is he going to look over his shoulder? Of course he does. He can't believe it's so comfortable. He's got away from the rest of the field. Scott Swain has now got himself up into second place. A good ride this from Graham Gordon. He's travelled all the way up from Cornwall to ride here today. He's heard so much about this circuit that he had to come and have a go himself. He's only a youngster and he is a name to keep an eye on for the future. He's up in third place, but as the checkered flag goes, that's a brilliant win for Tommy Palmer. In second place, one of the men that qualified with a maximum, Scott Swain. Graham Gordon has done well to get up into third place. And Rob Camden finishing in fourth, Alan Harmer in fifth, Kevin Buck finishing in sixth place. Well, it looked to be a good final on paper, but did anybody expect Tommy Palmer to dominate quite like that? A tremendous ride from him. We perhaps can now look forward to expecting a bit more as the season goes on. Has he set himself up now for this year? This win there for Tommy Palmer. Absolutely brilliant. Number 21 it is that goes in first place. In second place, number 64. Number 64, of course, is Scott Swain. In third place, number 263, Graeme Gordon. 4th place, number 22, Rob Camden. 5th place, number 121, Alan Harmer. 6th place, number 327, Kevin Buck. 7th place, number 72, Kevin Teager. 8th place, number 73, Julian Phipps. 9th place, number 174, Robin Pilcher. No 10th finish at the time, 201.66. 201.66, that's averaging 56 miles an hour. An absolutely brilliant time from Tommy Palmer. We're already underway with the sidecar final as they go into that first corner. It looks as if the man who qualified top on points, Jerry Adams, is going to go into the lead as they come out of that corner. It is indeed Jerry Adams that leads going round that first bend. Down the back straight and into the second bend down here at the bottom as Jerry goes a little bit wide as he allowed Neville Penfold to come through. It is Neville Penfold and Paul Randall that are in second place at the moment. John Halsey and his new passenger, of course, that John Halsey has got this afternoon. That is Darrell Dwyer. Oh, John Hiscock has now moved up into 3rd place in front of John Halsey. But as we look to the front, Jerry Adams has got there, and indeed Jerry Adams and Paul Baisby riding a brilliant ride. Neville Penfold and Paul Randall, no answer to them at the moment. John Hiscock and Tony Bemister still in 3rd place. But the gap's starting to open up for us. John Hiscock had ideas of closing things up a bit. Only looks to be getting closer to Neville Penfold as the race develops. Neville puts it all sideways. He's not getting any drive at all when the back wheel is completely sideways like that. But Jerry Adams and really, I've got to say that Jerry Adams and Paul Baisby dominating the sidecar final. I know there's one person in the crowd here this afternoon that'll be over the moon with this. It's Dave Steer who built this frame and has now sold it on to Jerry Adams. And John Hiscock riding well as he goes on the inside of Neville Penfold. John Hiscock and Tony Bemister getting up into 2nd place as they go down that back straight. It looks as if perhaps the longer races have suited John Hiscock, and John Halsey moving through now into 3rd place. So Neville Penfold obviously losing traction as this race develops, but really no answer to the leader Jerry Adams and Paul Baisby as they still keep themselves way ahead of the rest of the field. They go down that back straight for the last time. John Hiscock and Tony Bemister still there in 2nd. John Halsey and passenger Darrell Dwyer still there in 3rd. But as they go across the line, the sidecar winners this afternoon are going to be Jerry Adams and passenger Paul Baisby. John Hiscock and Tony Bemister finishing 2nd. John Halsey and passenger Darrell Dwyer finish in 3rd. Neville Penfold and Paul Randall in 4th. Well, they got to the final as the only crew that had scored a maximum in the qualifying. They must be absolutely over the moon with the machinery that they bought this year. What a way to start the racing here at Tunbridge. Well, as the sidecar crews come round to receive your appreciation, then I'm sure that you're going to show it a tremendous way to finish the afternoon's racing. The official result, a win for outfit number 55, Jerry Adams and Paul Baisby. In 2nd place, number 184, John Hiscock and Tony Bemister. In 3rd place, number 13, John Halsey and Darrell Dwyer. 4th place goes to number 2, Neville Penfold and Paul Randall. 5th place, number 191, Steve Heath and Barry Knight. 6th place, number 25, Rob Wilson and Colin Hill. That's the 1 to 6. The winning time, 2:19.64. An average speed of 53.11.
Well, it seemed a long time ago that I was saying to you that this is the start of the season down here at Tunbridge. We've now got to the end of the day. No, it's not quite darkness yet. We have got through 60 races. They've been absolutely tremendous, as I'm sure you've seen on the video. And what I've managed to do is quickly run over to the pits and get hold of a man that's been absolutely sensational today. I'm talking about the sidecar winner, Jerry. Not too often you win down here. Something a bit different this year.
Yeah, we've got a new chassis, Dave Steer's chassis from last season, which is proving to drive excellently down here in the slick conditions. And also, I have to say a few words for my new passenger, Paul Baisby, who's really proved his worth here today. He's as good as the best of them. Today we came here, we hadn't ridden the bike before. It was new chassis, we hadn't ridden together before, and everything has just clicked right the way through the day.
Well, I was going to say, just clicked. I think it's absolutely gelled 100%, hasn't it? I think we've got to try and get this man in. Paul, I want to word with you as well, look, because this man's just made you part of the credibility of why you won today. We know it's a new bike, and we know that he's a little bit wound up now, isn't he? But obviously he thinks the difference is a new passenger, but is there anything that you think has made the difference?
I think it's just a good track, and basically just a new bike. I think it's sort of like a new beginning, isn't it? You get wound up for it, and everything's gone and fell into place. So hopefully it's going to keep going like that.
Well, I think we'd all hope that as well. I think he's made the quote of the day as well, hasn't he, really? It's a new beginning. Is this a sidecar crew that we're going to see a lot of this season? Remember, you've got loads of big nationals down here this year. As I said earlier, we've got the Battle of Britain down here. That's the next one to go for, Jerry. Then the final round of the Masters. That's the next one that we return here to. And at the end of the year, the big international. So perhaps Jerry Adams is going to be a name that we see on a lot of these winning trophies this year.
I sincerely hope so. I really do hope so. This is a fairy tale start to the season.
Well, I think that's absolutely brilliant, Jerry. A fairy tale start, but let's hope it continues. Very well done, and I'm sure that everybody who's watched this video knows exactly why you did the winning.